Okay students, so we are going to start the titration. We have a burette which is clamped to the burette stand. Then I have conical flask. I have all reagents with me. So let's start the experiment. So the first experiment for class 12 in volumetric analysis is KMNO4 versus oxalic acid. So what should I do? I should take potassium permanganate in the burette. So I should make sure first that whether I have closed the stopper and there is no liquid, right? Then I have to rinse the burette with the titrant so that what I have taken a little bit of titrant. Okay, what is titrant, children? Titrant is nothing but volume of liquid which has to be taken in the burette. So I have taken the titrant in the burette and I am just going to rotate it. Okay, what I am going to do, I am just going to rotate it such that the liquid titrant is passing through all the sides of the burette, right? So this process is called as rinsing the burette. Why I am doing this? Because if at all any contamination is there inside, that all will go off. Okay. So I am just opening the stopper and the entire liquid has gone out. Okay. Done. So now I have done rinsing of the burette. Okay. Rinsing of the burette and rinsing of the pipette can be done, but never rinse your conical flask with the oxalic acid solution. Why? Because that adds up the concentration, so you may not be getting the correct answer. Okay. So I have rinsed my burette and I have tapped it. I made sure that there is no liquid. So my next step is I am going to pour potassium permanganate to the burette. Okay, and I am going to fix it to the clamp. So my titrant is ready in the burette. Then I will be just fixing the clamp to it. So my burette solution is ready. Experiment 1 is titration of potassium permanganate against oxalic acid. Before that, I just want to tell you one thing. While measuring the reading, you know how you should start. You should start in such a way such that for colored solution, try to take the reading from the upper meniscus. For colorless solution, lower meniscus. Understood? So for colorless solution, always take lower meniscus. For colored solutions, take the upper meniscus. Hope you all can see. You are able to see the graduation mark, that white mark. Above that you can see my colored meniscus, right? Okay. So for colored solution, upper meniscus. For colorless solution, always try to measure lower meniscus. So my burette solution is ready and I am just going to keep it in my burette stand. I am going to fix it in my burette stand. So I have fixed it in the burette stand. Make sure that there is no tilting. Done. And I just want to keep little up because my conical flask solution is not ready. Okay, I am just going to keep it little up so that I am going to prepare now my conical solution. So for this experiment, 20 ml of oxalic acid and 20 ml of sulfuric acid should be added to the conical flask. I have already told you what is the reason of adding dilute sulfuric acid to oxalic acid, and since you are titrating oxalic acid against potassium permanganate, I have told you need to heat the conical flask and make sure that it is hot. Then you start the titration, only then you will be getting a proper result. Otherwise the reaction will be very slow and there won't be enough liberation of Mn2 plus manganese ion, so that you won't be getting any catalyst for the reaction and the carbon dioxide produced in the reaction will not be expelled out. So what I am going to do now, I am going to pipette out 20 ml of oxalic acid. I have taken the pipette, I have taken a 10 ml pipette here and my oxalic acid solution is here. So 20 ml of oxalic acid should be taken. I am just going to do a tap so that whatever liquid present inside has come out. So now I am going to pipette out, and while pipetting out, you should be using your index finger, alright, not the thumb. Done. I have taken extra liquid and there should not be any air bubbles inside it, so you need to leave the solution. Can you see? Yeah, I am just leaving the jet. It should be correct to 0, okay? I am just showing you slowly. I am having control on my hand. This you will be getting by practice only, okay? So this is a colorless solution. So I am supposed to see the lower meniscus. I am done with it. Can you see it? I have taken the lower meniscus. I have taken the lower meniscus. Can you see? Yeah, the lower meniscus. So I am going to drop it in my conical flask, which is free from any liquid, right? So 10 ml of oxalic acid. I have washed all my equipments with the distilled water prior and I have dried it, right? So 10 ml of oxalic acid is left from the jet. So, but how much I should take? I should take 20 ml, okay? So I am going to take one more 10 ml of oxalic acid. So I am having a hand control and there should not be air bubbles. If they are formed, they will break. But if any air bubble is not going, yes, by hand control, can you see that I have got my reading correctly? So I have taken second 10 ml of oxalic acid. So I am just adding second 10 ml of oxalic acid. I have left my hand, so the liquid is dropping down. Okay, so what I have taken now, 20 ml of oxalic acid is ready in my conical flask. Okay. Now the second reagent to be added to the conical flask is sulfuric acid dilute. So now this is your 20 ml pipette. Can you see? This is your 20 ml pipette, right? I am having the reading here. So up to here I need to blow. I need to blow sulfuric acid. No, a little bit. There is a formation of air bubbles, so I am leaving it and I am going to pipette it again. Yes. Now I am going to leave till the mark. Since it is also a colorless liquid, I need to see the lower meniscus reading. Okay, I need to see the lower meniscus reading. It's going down. Yes, I have got 20 ml of sulfuric acid. So what I should do? I am going to leave it inside it. Okay, I am just leaving the sulfuric acid. Already what is there? Already oxalic acid is there. So 20 ml oxalic acid as well as 20 ml sulfuric acid. Then I need to heat this. Yes. So since I am doing only one time, but when you are doing it for exam, you need to do it in duplicates. You need to do it suppose if you might have added an extra or you didn't get proper result, you can try with the second one. Since I have prepared all the chemicals with the help of lab assistant, I was there. So no doubt that no chemicals went wrong, and I am just heating it. Hope you all see the tripod stand with the burner. Yes, you can see it. So tripod stand with the burner, then I'm heating it. How much heat? It should not be intolerable. I should keep my backside portion of my palm such that I should feel the heat, right? I should feel the heat. Then I should start my titration. I should just open the stopper, and for every drop of it I should be just mixing the liquid, so that solution from one is mixing with the solution from another, and so the reaction will be complete once the end point is reached. Here I didn't add any indicator because your potassium permanganate itself is colored, right? So it itself acts as a self indicator, so no need to add an extra indicator. Whenever you are using potassium permanganate, the potassium permanganate itself is acting as a self indicator because it itself is colored, right? So now it is, maybe the weather is cool, so I am not feeling much heat. Okay, so I am just going to start my titration now. Hope you all can see it. I am just going to open my stopper, and for every drop of the liquid which is going to fall, I should be shaking it, right? I should be shaking it. The appearance of pale permanent pink color indicates the end point of the titration. Appearance of pale permanent pink color. Okay, I think I am getting, hope you all can see, I have kept a white tile under the conical flask so that you will be able to see the reaction properly. The conical flask is still heat, so I am just started my titration. For each drop of the titrant falling on the conical flask, I am just mixing the contents of the conical flask. I am just mixing the contents of the conical flask. I heated the conical flask in order to speed up the reaction, and Mn2 plus will be released. So that is acting like a catalyst, and whatever the carbon dioxide produced in the reaction will be expelled out. So while doing titration, make sure to see your values too. The value of the titrant 2, now it is above 3, it has crossed 3.8. It has crossed 3.8 now. Okay. So you are seeing the titration is happening by drop. I am getting pink color, but it is not permanent, it is disappearing. So this is our first experiment, potassium permanganate versus oxalic acid. So the second titration will be with the potassium permanganate against more salt. That will be our second experiment. I am just trying to increase the flow of the titrant. Okay. I am just increasing the flow because till now I am getting drop by drop, very small drops are falling down. So I have just increased it. And I think I have got my end point. I just want to heat it a little bit. Because already the weather is very cool, so the reaction will be taking some more time. So I am just heating it. So let me proceed by opening the stopcock or by opening the stopper. I am just making it to drop by drop. So it is falling down, and from the white tile you are able to see the color change. Still it is dropping like a drop by drop only. Yes. The reading is showing 6.8, and while reading the pipette and the burette reading, your eyes should be straight, and the way I am reading is approximate. I need to open the burette from the burette stand. I need to remove it from the burette stand, then I should read it to avoid the parallax error. If you read from up or if you read from down, you won't be getting proper result. You should remove it from the clamp and then read it. I feel like we are going to get the end point. Okay. We are just nearing the end point. Can you see? You are not able to see the pink tint. Can you see the pink tint? I didn't get any pink tint since I have kept the white tile. I need to proceed the reaction, and let me show you the reading too. Yes. So while reading the burette, your eyes should be straight. Okay, you should not see like this nor like this. Okay, it should be straight to avoid parallax error. I think you are able to read the reading now. I am going to proceed it. Okay. Yeah, let me proceed with some more reagents. It is still hot only. I am just proceeding with some more reagent. So we have reached till 8. Okay, 8. I am just trying to open the stopper for some more time, so that I will be getting a pale permanent color. I am getting pink color, but it is disappearing. I should be getting pale permanent pink color, which shows that, which will be telling me the volume of the titrant used. Okay, which will be telling me the volume of the titrant used. You can see the end point, appearance of pale permanent pink color. I am not showing you with the white tile. Okay, so let me show you the reading now. So what did I tell you? You need to remove this from the clamp and then measure the reading. Okay, so what reading you have got? For colored solution you are supposed to see the upper meniscus. So it is 11.8. So we have reached a reading of 11.8. I have done the experiment with only once, but you are supposed to do the experiment by duplicates. So we have completed the first experiment with KMNO4 versus oxalic acid. So our second experiment will be potassium permanganate against more salt. For this I will be helping you out in calculations, okay. Whether on the board or in the live session, I will be helping out how to do the calculation for this. So I am going to proceed with the second experiment where KMNO4 is the titrant and my conical flask liquid will be more salt, but here I think I won't be heating the experiment because only with oxalic acid I am supposed to heat the contents, okay. So let us see the second experiment.